Good morning, I'm Tamara Shoemaker. One of my favorite novel series is Gilbert and Lynn Morris's Cheney Duvall, MD. And it's something I read over and over and over again when I was a kid and as a teenager growing up. It still remains one of my favorites. But essentially for most of the people around my age, it's like Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman from back in the day. So it follows the beginning and the career of Cheney Duvall, who is a New York socialite, New York City socialite, who has just graduated from the University of Pennsylvania as a doctor of medicine in a heavily male-dominated career field. The series takes place during the Reconstruction period immediately following the Civil War. And so she teams up with this male nurse, again flipping the script, and they pursue their joint medical adventures. Anyway, this isn't a book review, but I came back to one part of this story this morning as I was reading through Mark chapter 10, verses 46 to 52. In the story, in the series, Cheney and her nurse Shiloh are preparing to do surgery. It's in the second book, and they're in the backwoods of Arkansas with the rudimentary equipment for the surgery that they're getting ready to do, but little else. The girl that they're getting ready to do surgery on is a teenager who broke her leg very badly when she was a child, and she had never healed properly. So she had this crooked shin, and she walked with a really heavy limp. And so for years, the girl was told that there was no hope, that she would just simply have to adjust to life as a cripple. There was no doctor in the area. There was only a medicine woman, and the medicine that the medicine woman practiced was largely consisting of superstition. Cheney, the doctor, however, she saw the source of the problem. It was a bad bone set, and she also saw the remedy. She needed to re-break the bone and set it again correctly. So she and Shiloh, her nurse, they operated. They re-broke the bone at the bad set, and then Cheney shaved the calcified bone down that had formed its own joint. She took off what she needed to get rid of to reset the bone, and then she reset it properly this time before she stitched the girl back up. So obviously I don't have my doctorate. I've been known to swab ouchies with alcohol pads, so nobody wants me near them when they have any kind of medical need. So consider your source. I'm probably sabotaging medical terminology. Apologies to all readers in the medical field. But here's the point that the Lord spoke to my heart this morning. We are broken, church, and some of us have healed in the wrong direction. We need a re-break in order to have a reset. Re-breaking, it hurts, right? It's a process to get back to the basics. It's sometimes a long and extremely painful journey to go back to the starting point because it involves shaving, stripping, taking off parts that have grown on and calcified and hardened. So in Mark chapter 10, verses 46 to 52, there's a story of a re-break. Let's read it. It's not a long story. It says, "Then they came to Jericho. As Jesus and his disciples, together with a large crowd, were leaving the city, a blind man, Bartimaeus, that is the son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside begging. When he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout, 'Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me!' Many rebuked him and told him to be quiet, but he shouted all the more, 'Son of David, have mercy on me!' Jesus stopped and said, 'Call him.' So they called to the blind man, 'Cheer up! On your feet! He's calling you!' Throwing his cloak aside, he jumped to his feet and came to Jesus. 'What do you want me to do for you?' Jesus asked him. The blind man said, 'Rabbi, I want to see.' 'Go,' said Jesus, 'your faith has healed you.' Immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus along the road." I've read this story 1,000 times, at least. I remember hearing about blind Bartimaeus in my earliest memories of Sunday school, right? When we used to watch our teacher spread flannel graph images on a large rectangle resting on an easel, right? And to note, I miss flannel graphs. They were so cool. I don't know what it is about spreading cloth on a cloth board that's just soothing. But anyway, this morning, the Holy Spirit spoke to my heart in a new way through this old story, and the tears just overflowed. Bartimaeus has reached a desperation pitch, right? Blind, blind, blind. Either he's never seen it all, or he'll never see again. Either way, darkness is his lot in life until he hears about this man, Jesus, the only hope that there's ever been. Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. So picture this with me as you put yourself in his place. It's dark. It's been dark for a long time, for what feels like an eternity, plus some. It's been dark for so long you've nearly forgotten what light looks like. Maybe it's been dark forever. Maybe you were born this way, right? Maybe you've been tempted to blame God for the darkness. Maybe you don't deserve light. Maybe you don't deserve to call out his name. Why would he pay attention to you? But in your extremely sensitive hearing, the gradually increasing noise of a crowd burgeons. You hear a name spoken by an overly loud speaker. Jesus. Jesus. You've heard of him. He's the one who heals. He's done miracles all over Galilee and in Judea and Samaria and as far away as Tyre and Sidon. He's given sight to blind people before. Jesus. This is your one chance. It's your only hope. There's nothing left, right? Darkness as far back as you can remember. Darkness as far forward as you can anticipate. Jesus is the only agent of change. And so the words rip from your throat in spite of every circumstance that says it'll never happen. Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. It's embarrassing calling out like that, right? Hush, someone says, don't bother him. He's important. He's got places to go. He's got things to do. He's famous. There's a billion demands on his attention. Their words burrow into your doubts. Who are you, Bartimaeus, to ask for a moment of mercy? But dignity's long gone, isn't it? You've had to beg for a living for forever. You got nothing to lose. Got no other hope, right? Son of David! You throw aside the vestiges of embarrassment, half-hearted cries or half-whispered pleas, and you say, you just dive in. Son of David! The roar leaves your throat in desperation. Have mercy on me. Your heart breaks. What if he moves on? What if he doesn't hear you? Tears surge to your tear ducts. They sting as they overflow and trickle down the sides of your nose and down your cheeks. He might leave. Your hope is gone, and the thought just devastates you. The noisy crowd seems to pause. It settles for a moment. You hear one voice above all the others. It doesn't speak more loudly, but you hear him because it's for you. Call him, says the voice. Cheer up, grunts a person next to you. Get on your feet. He's calling for you. He's calling for you. He's calling for you. You feel the hands gripping your arms. They lift you to your feet, and anticipation stirs in your stomach, a wild hope. Could it be that your condition is going to change? If he gave sight to others, perhaps he's going to give sight to you. But what if he doesn't? What if you don't believe strongly enough? Stop, you tell yourself. There's nothing, literally nothing to lose. There's nothing left but him. Nothing in the past that you regret leaving behind, right? Nothing in the future that you can look forward to without him. Break me, you pray. What do you want me to do for you, he asks, as if he doesn't know, but he does. He simply wants to hear it from you. He wants the acknowledgement. Here I am, I've got nothing left but you. Rabbi, I want to see. Not, I can't see. Not, can you make me see? You have to want it. You have to want it. I want to see. And then, light. It's nearly blinding, ironically, after the eternal darkness, but it's light. Can you imagine? The first and only thing that imprints itself on your retina after a lifetime of darkness is his face, his gaze fixed on you. They're kind, those deep brown eyes. They're honest. They pierce your soul. They strip away the calcification of doubt and of fear and of cynicism. They call to you. Of course you're going to follow him. How could you do anything else? Go, he says. Not back to the gate. Not back to begging. Not back to blindness. Not back to defeat. You have a new life now. Don't sit in your blindness anymore. Don't accept that as your lot in life. Don't think that God made you this way. You've been freed. Now walk in it. Go because I've made you well. Go because I've made you see. You want to see. So go. Your faith has healed you, he says. The want came out of your mouth. You want to see, so he lets you see. He brought you to the point of the re-break. He broke you. And now you follow him along the road. He's reset you along the path. Y'all, I want to see. More than anything, I want his face to be my first sight every day and night, all day and night. Think about the other followers of Jesus, walking along next to no longer blind Bartimaeus, right? Jesus was leading a diverse group of followers. Many of them were his disciples. Many were curious. Some were cynics. All had seen Bartimaeus receive his sight, but only some had experienced a re-break like Bartimaeus did. Out of that crowd of followers, who were the world changers? Who were the dynamic revival starters? Who were the ones who had been so broken that they were able to be set straight? Bartimaeus was one. I want to be one. Do you want to be one? Lord, send revival. But in the sending, re-break us so that we can be set straight. Shave away our calcifications, Lord. The places where we've grown wrong, where we walk with a limp. The places where we've settled and solidified in our errors and our blindness, where we've wrapped that blindness around us like a shield. Do we want to see? Church, do we want to see? Bring us back to the heart of the matter. That is you, Jesus. Bring us back to the crux where we can say, I once was blind, but now I see because of you. Because of you. I'll see you next time.